Now, Outbox was the first one to get down here. Holly Doyle quick to take her feet out of the stirrups once they arrived. He was just kind of getting a little bit het up, but he seems to be calming down out there. The rest of them are starting to join him. I absolutely love Hurricane Lane. He's got the cheek pieces on today for the first time. Don't forget, horses, they have a 350 degree viewing angle, so they can literally see from their tip of their nose all the way around and to the hips, compared to us. I mean, I think we can see around about 45 degrees each side, so that'll clearly help him concentrate a little bit more. They have two blind spot horses right behind them in their tail and actually underneath their nose, which is why we say don't ever go behind a horse, and we can never be angry with them when they step on our feet, which is where the whiskers kind of come into play, because they can't actually see straight down below them, and they rely on their whiskers, which are sensories. They actually have their own nerves, they have their own blood supply, and that will kind of tell them how far they are away from the ground or an object. He looks an absolute picture today, Hurricane Lane. I do think, like last year, I thought he struggled with his fitness a little bit, whether he was just taking, whether he was just a little bit harder to train last year, I'm not quite sure, but you can see all the things I said today to look out for with the muscle definition. He's showing plenty of them today. I think the cheek pieces will help sharpen him up a little bit. It looks like he's kind of taken to them well down at the start. He's not overly excited in them. Fingers crossed they work on him today. They're just starting to load the horses. You can see Outbox is going to be the first one to load up. But he looks an absolute picture, Hurricane Lane.
And I tell you what, Adele, he touched 3-1, but that's money for him big time. Richard.
Yes, you'll be setting the fact that he was a massive drifter during the course of the day, but close to the off, Hurricane Lane 5-2 into 2-1. There are 2 tickets alive in the ITV7. They are not on Hurricane Lane. One is on West Wind Blows, even money, and one is on Global Storm, the 9-2 chance. Both Outbox and Jewel in My Crown are very weak indeed. Exchanges 40 and 46 respectively.
And just to mention for the bigger price runners here, Outbox was third in this race last year, but he's a big price here today. He's also won over $500,000 throughout his career, but he is an 8-year-old now. And Jewel in My Crown, I imagine, is looking for a bit of black type because he's got plenty to find on rating.
Yes, he has, but good luck to the Duggan team, because owner breeder, he used to have Rosa Grace, who was a big winner, won a listed contest for the owner trainer at Newbury.
So 5 runners then for our big race, the Jockey Club Stakes. Outbox is the one that jumps best, having to be rousted along, but it looks as if Holly Doyle is going to lead, although the Godolphin pair, Global Storm with the white cap and Hurricane Lane, ensure that the 3 of them are only covered by a couple of lengths, as Hurricane Lane now grabs hold into 3rd place. West Wind Blows races on the outside of Jewel in My Crown, who is the grey at the back, as the runners make the turn and they enter the final 10 furlongs. So it's Outbox who leads the field into the home straight. Moving towards the centre of the racecourse is Global Storm. Outbox staying over to the far side at the moment. Hurricane Lane is in 3rd place, the quartet coming more up the middle, with West Wind Blows tracking chief market rival Hurricane Lane. And last of all is Jewel in My Crown. There you can see the extent of the difference of opinion. Outbox has stayed over to that far rail and right up the middle, and just beginning to leave a print for the first time this afternoon. The quartet, headed by Global Storm, make their way up the centre of the racecourse. Not too much between the two at this stage, with Hurricane Lane getting a trail off the other Godolphin runner in 3rd, West Wind Blows following Hurricane Lane, and Jewel in My Crown last of the quartet up the centre of the racecourse. So continuing their progress here up the rolling mile, still a long way from home, and out in the lead, Outbox far side, and also Global Storm. Still not too much between them. And the 4 up the middle are just, they're still up the centre actually, from in 3rd place, Hurricane Lane overall. In 4th is West Wind Blows, and still at the back is Jewel in My Crown as they make their way down now towards the final 5 furlongs. Outbox over on the far side is still right up with the horse that leads them up the centre, Global Storm. West Wind Blows just pushed along in 4th place at this stage. Hurricane Lane moving on to the shoulder of Global Storm, and now draws just about alongside, despite the fact we're quite a long way from home. So a few of these being pushed along with still 3.5 to travel. Hurricane Lane moves to the lead. Outbox is now under pressure far side. And Hurricane Lane has everything at full stretch here, but still 2.5 furlongs to last. Hurricane Lane, William Buick pressing on. Global Storm, West Wind Blows under strong pressure, then Jewel in My Crown and Outbox, 1.5 furlongs to go. Hurricane Lane has the lead, it's still about 3 lengths. West Wind Blows and Global Storm, still an awful lot to do, and Hurricane Lane with 1 furlong to go is 5 to 6 lengths clear from West Wind Blows and Global Storm, who are fighting out the 2nd place. Hurricane Lane in the thunderstorm has absolutely to better things. Very close for second, West Wind Blows and Global Storm. Very close between those two. Hurricane Lane has come home comfortably. The moment of truth was 3.5 furlongs out. William Buick confident, of course, in the horse's stamina to send him to the front at that point. And he's down, he's 1 by 6, he's very close for second. He's tight. Slow it down for you a little bit more and see if you can pick West Wind Blows and Global Storm. They were the two that were carrying tickets for the ITV7. Apologies that you haven't won. West Wind Blows, possibly just by a nostril from Global Storm. But you can see after stride after the line, it's the other way round. Hurricane Lane. As I say, it's always nice when horses are kept in training, but it was a bit of a duff year for Hurricane Lane 12 months ago. He's back with a victory in a Group 2 Jockey Club Stakes. William Buick, no doubt, will be delighted with Charlie Appleby, and they bookend our coverage this afternoon.
And that was much more like it from Hurricane Lane. That late market move, 5 to 2 down to 2 to 1. They knew. And 2 out, Jason. He went 2, 3, 4, 5 lengths clear.
This is a very good horse. GG. And he opened up, didn't he? What a turnaround. I mean, what has he done in 13 days? He was beaten from here to the clock tower in Newmarket at Newbury. And as I said, maybe the pep in his step or whatever, where has Charlie managed to get him back? He can't have done a huge amount of work between here and there, you know, maybe one little spin or something, or he showed him that he's got some ability still, because you were nearly thinking, oh my word, he's lost his mojo, is he going to come back?
Maybe it's the opposite. They said working him, or maybe they literally, like you said, freshened him up, maybe turned him out, maybe, I don't know, done all sorts of different things, because clearly that wasn't the real Hurricane Lane at Newbury last time. But you're right, in only 17 days to be able to 13 days to be able to turn around is huge.
Cheap pieces he's got on, you know, but do they sometimes make that much of a dramatic difference? I don't know if there's been a change in his bit or anything. Something's happened.
Let's see if William Buick can shed some more light on it.
Yeah, that's the Hurricane Lane we know and love. It's Hurricane Lane that we know, yeah, for sure. You know, he owes nobody nothing, this horse, and he was a tough class horse last year, and he needed the rest of Newbury, and fair play to Charlie and the whole team brought him back here. You know, he showed what he could do today, so everything was perfect for him, and just nice to get him back winning.
Well, was it just a case of just getting the cobwebs blown away at Newbury the other day?
Yeah, of course, but you know, I think he came out of the race in good order by all accounts, and like I say, credit to Charlie and the whole team at home really, because you know it's a great thing to do, and he was a very high class horse last year, and let's hope they can carry it on.
And what's the sort of dream target for him this year, do you think?
Well, he ran so well in the Arc last year, so I'd be surprised if Charlie didn't have an eye on the Arc for him, you know. So look, it's a long way away. It's a lot of water to be going under the bridge before then, but what he will do in the immediate future, I'm not quite sure. I think he's just lovely to see him back winning, to see him win the way he did today. You know, he's loving it. You know, he's plenty of enthusiasm. He's a lovely horse.
Well done.
Thank you.